Hi Peter, welcome to M+.
Thank you very much, Bernie. It's a delight to be here. It's not my first time, but I always enjoy coming to M+.
Well, that's great, so please come in.
Thank you. So I guess that gave me something of a taste for travel and overseas living. It's become our home, and it's interesting, you know, when you make a choice, a personal choice, in some way you are more vested in the community than if you happen to be born there. You feel very content, you feel very satisfied, you feel like you've got answers to the world's questions, although you haven't.
This must be the Hong Kong special DNA. Trade has always been China's DNA. Hey Peter, I understand you were actually born in India and educated in the UK. So can you tell me a little bit more about your childhood? Because it's fascinating. And what takes you to come to Hong Kong?
Well, my father was in the equivalent of the Foreign Office at the time, and he was based in Calcutta, and that's where I was born. So we were not there, they were there for 7 years, but I came right at the end of their posting. But they left Calcutta in December and were posted almost immediately to Finland. And so I was then brought up in Finland and Bulgaria, and then came to the UK. So I guess that gave me something of a taste for travel and overseas living.
Now, but what was your first impression when you first came to Hong Kong? Was it a cultural shock to you?
Well, I suppose so, but I can't really remember feeling uncomfortable or shocked out of my skin in any way. And I sort of grabbed the opportunity because I thought this is something that, you know, I want to experience. It's not just a good career move.
Now, I understand your 3 daughters
Yes.
were born in Hong Kong.
Yes.
And you yourself is a permanent resident of Hong Kong as well.
Yes, yes.
So this is really home for you.
Yes, it is. It's become our home, and it's interesting, you know, when you make a choice, a personal choice, in some way you are more vested in the community than if you happen to be born there. And 3 girls, all born here, went to school here. They're now all in the UK, actually, but they still have deep roots in Hong Kong and love coming back.
So if you would be someone arriving new to Hong Kong, what advice would you give them?
Well, first of all, don't even question whether or not you should come. You should definitely come. The opportunities here are manifold, and when you get here, kind of just immerse yourself into the society, into probably a small group of people or friends that you'll get to know at the beginning, and then gradually expand that. We're sitting here in M+, so you've got all of this cultural perspective in Hong Kong now, which is terribly, terribly exciting. So it's a modern, cosmopolitan city, but with this backdrop of the country parks and the rural setting, which make it unique and special.
You mentioned M+, so I understand that you are actually very passionate about culture. Can you tell me a little bit what you're passionate about?
Well, I do think it adds a perspective to your life, you know. It's very easy to go through, as a banker, very easy to go through life just crunching numbers all the time. But it's incredibly important to develop EQ, emotional quotient as well. And, you know, I think that's what the arts do for you. So I remember the first time I came to M+, and also to the Palace Museum, I came with fairly high expectations, to be honest. Because I know from my day job, I know West Kowloon. We've done some work for West Kowloon, some advisory projects. So I know the project reasonably well. And I walked out of them on a complete high. You feel very content, you feel very satisfied, you feel like you've got answers to the world's questions, although you haven't.
how do they see this continuous relationship between Hong Kong, UK, and China to continue?
And so they need that infrastructure, the ecosystem that Hong Kong offers. So the deeply developed, long-standing rule of law, the judiciary system, the accounting profession, all of which are very closely mirrored by the United Kingdom. My job as chairman is to represent the member interests, but also to remind people of those opportunities and to encourage businesses to grow and prosper and invest here, because it's good for them and good ultimately for both Hong Kong and the UK.
So obviously banking is a major part of Hong Kong ecosystem. So how do you see Hong Kong's role in the future in global banking?
Look, I think it's already very established, and I think and hope that it will go from strength to strength. Hong Kong has got this unique position as an international financial center, so it can serve obviously the mainland of China, but also the region as well. And so Hong Kong continues to have that enormous role of acting as a connector between the mainland, the broader Asian community, and the rest of the world.
This must be the Hong Kong special DNA. Trade has always been China's DNA because we need to meet the demands of the people. So I can only imagine that these type of trade initiative will continue, and Hong Kong play a very important role in it, right?
Hong Kong is incredibly important for trade. I can talk as a bank. Our trade finance business in Hong Kong is big, and I think it's one of the biggest that we have around the world, and most of it is related to China, as you can imagine. I think the statistic I remember is even last year, in the depths of the pandemic, the Hong Kong Airport Authority was the largest cargo airport in the world, bigger than UK or the US, and that's a result of the transshipment of goods that come out of China through Hong Kong and go out to the rest of the world.
Can you use 3 words to describe Hong Kong as the international financial center?
So first of all, I would say it's a very fair place. It's a place where fairness prevails. So it's a kind of meritocracy, if you like. You can get on in Hong Kong if you do the decent thing. It's also very fast, so things happen very rapidly, and it's also very flexible. The way Hong Kong can shift over to exploit another opportunity has always amazed me in the last 26 years. So it's those 3 Fs, there we are. That's fortunate. So fair, fast, and flexible, but underscoring it all is this respect for the rule of law, this respect for process and regulation, which make Hong Kong a very stable place as well to do business.